Hi, I somebody sent me this parable that I've seen before, and I named it because I don't know what else to call it. But it's this daughter comes in to her father as a chef and says, "I'm just miserable. I can't handle anymore." The I start to get control, and something else comes up. She just can't do this. So he doesn't say anything, and he puts 3 pots on the stove to boil. And when they come to boil, he puts potatoes in one, and eggs in the other, and the coffee grounds in the other, and sets the timer for 20 minutes. Well, when this everything's ready, takes them off the the um, the burner and takes the potatoes out, puts them in a bowl, and the eggs out and puts them in a bowl, and the coffee pours into a cup. That's what she sees. Well, potatoes, eggs, and coffee. What else? There's something more. So he shows her how the potatoes had gotten hot, were really hard, and we gotten softer. The eggs had gotten harder, and the coffee, the liquid, became usable. Well, for one, and that, so we have a choice. In other words, according to this passage, we have a choice how we feel. Well, first of all, they switched up there. It went from the stuff in the pot, the potatoes and eggs, to the coffee, so the water is usable. But that changes the example, so it doesn't work. But the all three had an impact on the water. All three changed the water. And it's other people's perception that made it good or bad. They decide what burnt beans boiled in water is good. Well, look at the process of coffee. The coffee beans are actually burnt, and they make sounds. I guess you could call it they complain. It's a longer process, not just a 20 minute. And the coffee grounds are impacted too. Th- what change? How did the coffee grounds change? Rather than we don't get to choose our struggles. We don't get to choose between potatoes and coffee and eggs. We might get all three, or we might get two, or we might get one. But the pain is real. The pain of the boiling water is real. It hurts. It's the people on the outside that make the impact. The people on the outside that pull the cup of coffee. The people on the outside that take the potatoes, peel them, chop them up, and and take the eggs and chop them up. Get some pickles and some mayonnaise and some mustard. Mix them in and pour the coffee. And every part is usable. The water from the potatoes and the eggs and the extra coffee can be used to water the garden. The potato peels and coffee grounds can be used, and actually the eggshells can be used in the garden. And the eggshells can be fed to the chickens to make stronger eggs. But the pain is real. It's not that easy. It's And what's the difference between you wouldn't say that if someone come up and stabbed you with a knife and say, "Oh well, it's just how you perceive it. Just don't see it as bad." No, that's not going to work. Mental and emotional and spiritual pain is just as real as physical pain. The pain of somebody in life. And if you're strong enough, maybe you can fight off the knife. If you're strong enough. But if someone's stronger or faster or comes on unexpected, even a 6-year-old might be able to stab you with a knife if they have if they come on with surprise and hit the right spot with the right angle and the right strength. And if you don't clean out the wound, it becomes infected. If we if we throw the 3 pots, don't empty them out, throw them in the corner, they're gonna mold, gonna stink. All 3 will. The Bible says in Galatians 6, bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. That's the law that Jesus said, we said last time in the parable of the Good Samaritan. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. So what does the Bible say we should do when someone cries? What are we supposed to do? Actually, the Bible says to cry with them. Someone wakes up in the night crying. You don't say, "Oh, you have a choice to cry or not." No, they woke up in the night crying. Maybe they started crying even before they woke up. You have a choice to have that pain. Someone says, "Oh, you're hungry." Well, the people in Africa are hungrier. That doesn't make you not hungry. That makes that doesn't help. It doesn't make you not hungry. Now, it can make you if you yourself experience it. I've people asked if the zip line was scary at camp. Yeah, it was scary, but it was better for me because I myself experienced more fear all day long. It's scary to walk. It's scary to get up. It's scary to lay down. Scary to go to sleep. Like, it is. I wrote something on Facebook about in in the at camp. I looked up on the stage. The children would be the campers would go up on the stage and sing, be part of the worship team. Well, I looked up on the stage and just saw the beauty, saw something beautiful. It was already there. I knew it was already there, but it was beauty more than Solomon had in his courts, more than Solomon's singers. What was it? Nothing had changed. There were still autistic, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, or whatever other. I just happen to know that those are 3 that were there. But any whatever other diagnosis people have, labels people put on them. But there was something beautiful. Something beautiful because of the pain. Something beautiful because of the suffering. You have a special gift or special eyes. No, I just can see. It's nothing that changed. Nothing that was different. I mean, if your favorite hero was there, Donald Trump, Bill Cosby, I don't know, I just came up with that name. And George Washington, whoever, if whoever was there, and we, they would be honored, should be honored to be in the presence of that beautiful worship team. The worship team shouldn't be honored to sing to them. They should be honored. It is beautiful. That's where we see beauty in the pain. I saw tears at camp last week. I saw people scream. I heard some of the kids scream out in pain, or whatever. But what we need to do is love. We need to be willing to see them in the ditch, even though it is not physical, even if it is mental or emotional. It's harder on them than it is on you. People say, and I wrote a thing on my blog post about beautiful rocks. Ugly rock. Ugly rock was taken out of a pile of rocks. It was useless. It was useless. No one had a use for it. But someone came and cleaned it up, put lights on it, and put it in a special place. Became beautiful. That's what we need to do to each other. We need to be there holding them up. It is our job to support the weak. It is our job to mourn with those that mourn, or rejoice with those that rejoice. It's our job. Not our job to criticize. Sometimes they can't do it. And they're not supposed to be able to do it. In Ecclesiastes, let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, give me a second. I don't remember. It says something about um. See if I can find it this way. Here it is. Ecclesiastes 4. Just a second. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither a child nor brother, yet there is no end of his labor. Neither is I satisfied with riches. Verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have good reward of their labor. For if the one will lift up his fellow, but woe unto him that is alone when he falls. For he hath no man to lift him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one warm that is alone? And if one prevail against him, who shall withstand him? And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. We need each other. And this is real. Anytime we are weak, we're not meant to live alone. The Bible even says that it's not good for man to live alone. I will make a helpmeet for him. And this is not just about marriage. This is about life. We need each other. Sometimes we cannot do it. Sometimes we are more miserable. Sometimes it's not that easy. And you know what happens when we stuff it? When we stuff the fear or stuff the pain, the emotional pain. It's like what you did to the pots when you put them in the corner. It starts to rot and fester and become infected deep inside you. And it causes problems physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. See, when someone asks my pain level, I usually just say part of the pain level. But if it's 1 out of 10, if it's pain level 1 out of 10, there's physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They all affect each other. That means 1 out of 10, 1 would be 16. 1 times 4, 4 and then 10 would be 160. 160 is 4, everyone affecting each other. 4, 8, 12, 16. So if you have full pain, number 10, number 1, on all areas, you'll have 16. If you have 10, unbearably pain in all areas, you'll have 160. It's real. It's not just physically that's real. And it's not just emotionally, not just spiritually, not just. And it's not wrong. It's not wrong to be in pain. It's not wrong to not be able to handle it. It's not wrong to give up. It's not wrong. It's wrong when we say, because you made potato water, you're bad. Or because the coffee grounds became hard, they're bad. Or because the eggs became hard, they're bad. That's what's wrong. We need to feel, maybe put some salt in the eggs so they won't crack. Maybe put some cool water in the potatoes so they don't boil so hard. And just wait. And you know what? If you're sitting there with that person. You'll be blessed by being able to smell the food, smell the smell of the eggs, the potatoes, and the coffee. And seeing that pain when they are healed, whether in this life or next, you'll be able to rejoice more because you stood with them. You felt the heat, not as much as them, but you felt it. You felt the pain. You saw it. You saw what they went through. You saw the beans being burnt to death till they became black. You saw them being ground. You saw them being boiled and saw their pain. And you can rejoice then, and you wept with them. Then when they to the time for them to rejoice, you can really rejoice because that person is freed from the pain. That person is taken out of the boiling water and set free. And you can dance with them and jump with them. And well, I guess if it's the next life, we won't be crying with them, but maybe at first we will. But in this life, if they're set free, we can cry with them too. I think I got all my thoughts for on that one. Thank you if anybody was listening.